cartoons in our childhood. But there are some mysterious characters in various cartoons that never show their faces. Today, finally, we'll be taking a look at some of the most mysterious cartoon characters who revealed their faces. But before we start, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell to watch some of the most intriguing videos on YouTube. Let's begin. Number 8. Chester's dad from The Fairly OddParents. The Fairly OddParents was an American animated show that aired from 2008 to 2017. The series followed the adventures of Timmy Turner, a 10-year-old boy who had two fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda. One of the key characters of the show was Timmy's friend, Chester McBadbat. Chester used to reside with his father in an impoverished community that lacked some of the basic amenities. Chester was a great supportive character, but his dad, Bucky McBadbat, provoked mystery throughout the show as he always appeared with a paper mask on his face. As the story goes, Chester's dad was a really bad baseball player. In fact, he was an embarrassment and the people of the town did not like him. So his solution to remaining hidden from the town was to wear a paper bag. Luckily, he did take off his mask of embarrassment in one of the episodes of the show. What surprised the viewers the most was the fact that he was a really handsome guy with a fun personality. Number 7. Wizard Kelly from The Proud Family. The Proud Family is an American sitcom that ran on the Disney Channel from 2001 to 2005. The show basically revolved around the adventures of Penny Proud, a 14-year-old girl and her family. The show had one character that made several appearances but never showed his face. Known as Wizard Kelly, this mysterious character was shown to be a famous businessman who was incredibly wealthy. Apparently, he made his fortune by playing professional basketball. Wizard Kelly's character was in all probability inspired by the NBA legend Magic Johnson. While the audience of the show waited till the end of the show for Wizard Kelly to reveal his face, he never did. However, in the Proud Family movie that was premiered on August 19, 2005, there was a moment where we could see Wizard Kelly's face for just a brief moment. Near the end of the movie, where peanut butter is falling all over the place, there's a brief moment where if you pause, you can clearly see the face of Wizard Kelly. Number 6. Eddie's brother from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Ed, Edd n Eddy is a Canadian-American cartoon show that used to be aired on Cartoon Network. The show follows the lives of three preteen boys who all share variations of the name Ed. Their personalities differ from each other, but they are best friends and they always team up to scam the cul-de-sac kids out of their money. However, they always run into problems and their schemes usually end up in failure. One of the most talked about characters in the show is Eddie's brother. Eddie always talks about how cool his brother is and even the other boys admire him. We never get to see the face of Eddie's cool brother in the cartoon series. However, in the Ed, Edd n Eddy movie, there is one scene where finally Eddie's cool brother makes an appearance. He appears as the main antagonist. He is shown wearing a brown newsboy cap, yellow sports jersey, a red flannel jacket, and khaki pants. He is portrayed to be really cool, just like he's described by Eddie on a number of occasions. Having a short goatee, a pair of sunglasses, and macho mannerisms, the face reveal of Eddie's brother didn't disappoint the audience. Number 5. Mom and Dad from Cow and Chicken. Cow and Chicken was one of the most awkward and unique animated comedy shows that was created by David Feist for the Cartoon Network. The show basically revolved around a cow and a chicken who happened to be siblings. Things get even more complicated when one realizes that they had human parents. In all the episodes of Cow and Chicken, the mom and dad are always shown from the waist down. Many of the kids who watched Cow and Chicken always wondered why they wouldn't show the faces of the parents. Well, the show had some really weird happenings, and one of them was in fact that the mom and dad had their upper bodies cut off. Yep, in one of the episodes they finally showed mom and dad in their entirety, and it turned out that the mom and dad did not have upper halves of their bodies. How did they function? Well, only the creators of the show know that. But what we do know is what happened to the other halves of their bodies. In another episode, the chicken is shown taking out different items from his closet. There he discovers the upper halves of mom and dad's bodies. Seeing them, Cow immediately jumps in the scene and calls them her science project. Judging them from their upper bodies, the mom and dad seemed like normal individuals. The mom had short blonde hair and was wearing a yellow sleeveless shirt. On the other hand, the dad was wearing a green short sleeve shirt and a red tie and had a really long nose. 4. Mammy Two Shoes from Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry was probably the most famous cartoon show of the 20th century. Almost every kid and adult had watched it. The cartoon debuted in 1940 and was aired on television until 1967, and after that its episodes were shown by various television channels all over the world until the 2000s. The plot was almost always a fight and a chase situation between the cat, Tom, and the mouse, Jerry. Neither Tom nor Jerry could speak any words. But there was one character that appeared on the show again and again and spoke a lot. Known as Mammy Two Shoes, this African American lady was basically the housemaid who cared for the house in which Tom and Jerry were living. Whenever she appeared, her face was not shown. One could only see her legs and her feet. However, in one of the episodes, the viewers finally got to see Mammy Two Shoes' face. The episode was titled Saturday Evening Puss, and it showed how Tom decided to throw a party, realizing that Mammy Two Shoes was gone for the weekend. Jerry, who gets kicked out of the party by Tom and his friends, decides to take revenge, and he somehow tells Mammy Two Shoes about the situation at home. She rushes back home, and this is when we can see her running down a residential street wearing a red hat, red lipstick, and having short black hair hidden under her hat. Number 3. Kakashi Hatake from Naruto. Naruto is one of the most popular Japanese animated series. The show has some captivating characters with unique personalities and amazing abilities. One of the most liked characters of the show is Kakashi Hatake. He's an elite ninja with some amazing fighting skills. But there's one thing about Kakashi that forces audiences to develop more interest in him than any other character. Kakashi always wears a mask. He was never seen without a mask, and this led many of the fans to speculate if there was something wrong with his face. Some proposed that maybe he had scars on his face and he wanted to hide them with a mask, while others proposed that maybe he had terrible facial features. All the rumors and speculations came to an end when Kakashi finally showed his whole face in one of the episodes. He did not have any scars, nor did he have any terrible facial features. In fact, he turned out to be a really handsome guy, and this led many of his fans to falling in love with the character even more. 2. Kenny from South Park. South Park was one of the most watched American animated sitcoms. The show was meant for mature audiences as it had profanity and dark, surreal humor. The show revolves around the lives of 4 young boys: Cartman, Kenny, Kyle, and Stan. The odd thing about Kenny was that his face was always covered by a hoodie. The only thing visible was his eyes. Even when he spoke, no one could really hear him properly, and his friends had to translate what he was saying. The mystery boy's face was never shown in the series. However, the audience finally got to see Kenny's face in the South Park movie, bigger, longer, and uncut. In the movie, the devil tells Kenny that he could make one of his wishes come true. Kenny wishes for the world to be back the way it was before the war, which meant that he would go back to hell. Now, in one of the most emotional scenes in cartoon history, before going back to hell, Kenny turns towards his friends and removes his hoodie. His complete face is shown for the first time, and he's shown speaking in a clear voice. The adorable little Kenny says goodbye to his friends and disappears. Number 1. Miss Cerebellum from the Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls was one of the greatest superhero-themed cartoon shows. While all the characters of the show were quite impressive, there was one particular character that mesmerized everyone, and yet her face was never shown. Yes, we're talking about Miss Cerebellum, the deputy of the mayor. She had red hair, always wore a red dress and red shoes. Her curvaceous figure along with her authoritative voice made her a crush for the mayor, as well as many of the teenagers and adults who watched the show. Whenever she appeared in the Powerpuff Girls, something would always cut her face off. Either it would be the camera angle that would only show up to her neck, or it would be her hair that would entirely cover her face. Due to her overall personality and the behavior of other characters in the show towards her, one would always assume that she was very attractive. It might come to as a surprise that Miss Bellum actually did show her face for just a second in the episode titled Powerpuff Girls Rule. Miss Bellum's face was revealed for just a moment, and most of the kids who watched the episode did not even notice. However, there were a few smart individuals who took the footage of the episode, slowed down the camera, and captured the exact image right at the moment where Miss Bellum's face was revealed. So, here's the beautiful Miss Bellum. One of her eyes is visible but closed, and the other one is covered by her long red hair. She has beautiful black eyelashes and her mouth is closed. She looks kinda sad in the image, but still very beautiful. So, there you have it, the greatest face reveal in the history of cartoons. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and press that bell icon as well to always be in the loop. We'll see you guys in the next one.